Hello again. Welcome to another exciting edition of Dallas Cowboys Overtime here on StarTelegram.com. I am Fort Worth Star-Telegram sports columnist Mac Engel. Accept no substitutes. A wonderful gentleman on the other side is Mr. Clarence E. Hill Jr. I don't know why I just put an H in front of that. Clarence, like you and I both predicted here on Cowboys Overtime, brought to you by the great people at Window Nation, about a month ago, we both knew the Dallas Cowboys were going to open at 3-1 thanks to 3 straight wins by backup quarterback Cooper Rush. Are you really surprised? I mean, you and I both called it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and I'm glad we're just going to get right into it because why can't people just be happy that the Cowboys are having an out-of-body experience? Be happy that beyond the wildest dreams, we all thought the season was over, especially that night after Dak gets hurt in his 6 to 8 weeks. You know, with the surgery, we don't know anything about when he's coming back. We think 6 to 8 weeks, hoping maybe the Packers game and all you putting all this speculation.
That's right.
And you got the Bengals coming up. He's like, well, this season's over. No one saw what has transpired coming with Cooper Rush leading 3 straight wins. Why can't you guys, and I'm talking about you, Mac, and you pundits, and you people out there who want to be peace breakers. That's what my grandma used to call it. You're peace breakers, okay? It's just happy. You're peace breakers, okay? Because you can't just let people be happy. You want to start a quarterback controversy. You want to make this about more than what it is. Just be happy. The backup quarterback's job is to win games till the starter comes back.
Mission accomplished.
Keep the car on the road. Keep the boat on the
Well,
water.
let's be real quick. Cowboys were 0-1. Okay,
but you want to be a peace breaker.
Hang on. No, I don't. I want to be a truth teller.
Peace breaker.
I'm a seer.
No,
I look down the road, and all I do, I see obstacles. I see signs. I see things that are coming so I can duck it.
You're a peace breaker.
Cowboys open the season at 0-1 with Dak Prescott starting. They get their fannies kicked by Tom Brady, who looks like 95 years old, not 45 years old, in week 1. And now they got to go to Cooper Rush. And now they win 3 straight games.
Imagine
due in large part to a defense that has played great and due in part to an offense that's done pretty well. Not great, but pretty well. You got to give them that.
We do give them that, and that's the beauty of it. Let's be happy that they're getting that. Be happy that they're winning. Let's not extrapolate that into meaning it's better than Dak Prescott. We all know that the goal is for the offense to run an optimal level of efficiency. It's not running at optimal level of efficiency. We forget everything that Dak's done last year. There's a reason why Cooper was the backup. The reason why Cooper was almost cutting training camp. In fact, I mean, come on. Open your eyes.
My eyes are open. And here is, first of all, for the record, yes or no question, because we've got the graphic coming up. We need to call it up. Do the Cowboys have a quarterback controversy?
Peace breaker. That's the only thing that's going to tear up this locker room. You see the Rams were fighting on Monday Night Football. All these teams imploding. The Cowboys in the locker room are one accord. Dak is our quarterback. Cooper Rush said, I'm going to enjoy this as long as I can enjoy this. It's a great bit. No one's extrapolating this further except you outside peace breakers.
Not an outsider, not a peace breaker. I'm a truth teller, and I am a servant of Pro Football Hall of Famer Jerry Jones, who said, yeah, I'd love to have a quarterback controversy.
He did. He's pulled that back. He put the genie back in the bottle.
Can't do it. Genie's out of the bottle, brother, and this is why. The Dallas Cowboys just went 3-0 with the guy they cut. Dallas Cowboys just went 3-0 with the quarterback the New York Giants cut, put on the practice squad, kicked to the curb. Okay, here's the problem, and this is why this is an issue, young man.
Exactly.
Of course, it's not a quarterback controversy. Of course, you and I both know the Dallas Cowboys' only shot to do anything in January is with the starter, with QB1, not QB2. Here's the issue, though. The idiots, the cow sheep, as Randy Galloway called them, all these morons are out there are going to be sitting there calling for Cooper Rush.
They're peace breakers.
Fine. You know this is coming. You know this is coming.
They just can't be happy. They want to implode.
It's not about that. First of all, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy ever. Everybody's happy. Nobody is. They're only happy if we're complaining. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about too. You know who I'm talking about. So they're not going to be happy unless they're complaining. So you and I both know this is coming. Whether they want to or not, it's totally irrational. You know it. I know it. Cooper Rush has done a great job. 4-0 start as a starting quarterback in his career. Never been done before with the Dallas Cowboys. Only been done one other time, and that was with Kurt Warner when he was at the Rams. Great story. Cooper Rush is a great story. I got to eat a whole bunch of crow on that guy. He's done great. He's going to be in the NFL for a long time. He's done a phenomenal job. On a more serious note, does the fact that he's played as well as he's have, can't speak, does that at least give Dak Prescott and the Cowboys a little bit more wiggle room so he doesn't have to return and potentially rush and come back?
No, there's no question about that. It allows them to let the injury take its course as it's taking its course and allows him to come back fully healthy. There's no reason, there's no urgency to rush him back because the season has been saved. There's no angst that we got to get him back on the field. And the medical is going to be the medical. And when he's ready to go, they're going to let him play. But there's no reason to say we got to get him back out for the Rams game. We got to get him back for the Philadelphia game because, the season is still here. And the goal is it's not about October. It's about January. And that's the big picture. You want him healthy. The good news, and the Cowboys are still in it. They're going to get better. That offense, you look at the way the team has played, the defense has gotten better each game from 19 points to 17 points to 16 points to 10 points. The offense has scored more each game. You're getting guys healthy. Dak is part of that. You got something to look forward to. The season is there. So there's no reason to put him back out there when he's not ready to go. And I think that Cooper certainly winning these games, allowing them to stay in and saving their season, as Jerry Jones said, doing something he never expected out of his wildest dreams, no matter how much, the coaches or Mike McCarthy says we knew we had it in him. No one knew this. And so, yeah, it allows you to be patient with Dak Prescott. When he's ready to go, he's ready to go. Something similar to what they did with Michael Gallup. I mean, the Cowboys were patient with Michael Gallup. They tried to, there was thought process, and we'll get back into Michael Gallup, and I don't want to jump the head of the gun with the Michael Gallup line. But, I mean, the good news about the Cowboys and their medical staff is they're going to let the medical make the decision. They're not going to force them. This is not Tua Tagovailoa, okay? This is not Miami.
No, this is not the Miami situation. But on Sunday, before the Cowboys beat the Washington football teams, I can't call them the Commanders. It's the worst name in sports by far. But before the game, Adam Schefter, ESPN's NFL mouthpiece, sends out a tweet that Dak Prescott is eyeing a return to play against the Rams. That would be this Sunday. And that would basically mean, hang on, let me just finish the setup here. That would basically mean that Dak Prescott basically practiced 2.5 times before playing the Rams. Clarence, before we go to break, is Dak Prescott going to play Sunday against the Rams?
No, he's not going to play it. I just want to put perspective on that because before the Monday night game against the Giants, ESPN reported Dak Prescott said he's not ruling out Sunday's game against Washington. Okay? When he just got the stitches out. He still has not thrown. He still has not thrown a pass since last Monday.
It's Tuesday, October 4th. Do you don't think he's thrown by now, even on the side, just with a buddy or something?
No, he's not. He's done some soft tosses. He's going to see the doctor today. We talked to Mike McCarthy on Monday. He's going to see the doctor today, but he has not thrown any passes of earnest, any passes with velocity, hasn't taken any real snaps. There's no way he plays this week. He's not playing this week. The hope is maybe next week, but Mike McCarthy said he wants to have a full week of practice before he plays again. So there's no way he plays this week. There's a chance, he could come back next week against the Eagles, but we'll see. They win. If they beat the Rams, you can delay it another week. But I tell you what, and before we move on, what Cooper's done is good and very good, beyond expectation. Go to LA and beat the Rams. Then we're talking about something.
Because right now what they've done is they beat average teams. Yeah, they separated themselves from average teams. Okay, we got to take a break from the great people, not good people, great people at Window Nation.
Window Nation, the star of window replacement and proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, can help you fill the house this season with savings. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and make no payments and pay no interest until 2025. Fill your house for a customized authentic Dallas Cowboys jersey while supplies last. You could even help fill the Cowboys house and win tickets to a game. Visit windownation.com/Cowboys now for details. Call 866-95-NATION. Window Nation, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, Window Nation. We love you here at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram for riding with us. God, this is a rough morning. Riding with us here on Cowboys Overtime all season long. A season that now looks to include a Super Bowl win. Before we get to that, Sunday did see the triumphant return of a great guy and a great story. Michael Gallup, the wide receiver who tore his ACL near the end of the 2021 regular season, did come back. His first catch was a 15-yarder from Cooper Rush, future Hall of Famer Cooper Rush. And then later in the game, Gallup caught a touchdown pass. It was great to see it. It was a neat moment for a guy who's been through a lot, given a contract extension as well. But Clarence, what does Michael Gallup's return exactly do for this offense in terms of the passing game and maybe even the running game?
Well, number one, it gives them another option to go with CeeDee Lamb. And you saw the impact it had immediately, him being that deep threat. He may be the best, deep threat catcher, deep threat receiver the Cowboys have had since Alvin Harper, And,
Wow.
There have been a lot of great receivers do a lot of things, but as far as the deep ball, that was Alvin Harper's specialty. And certainly that's Michael Gallup's specialty. And I'm not just talking about speed and all that. Just a deep ball guy, tracker, go up and catch it. That's what he is. That's who he is. And certainly brings that dimension of offense. The two interference penalties, catching the ball on a scramble drill. He is that guy. And certainly helps the Cowboys offense. He gives them 3 legitimate receivers. And let's say Noah Brown is a legitimate receiver, okay? The
owner said it was Noah Wilson. Which one is it?
It's Noah Brown. He's a legitimate receiver, and good for him. Good for him.
Oh, it's great for him. What a story. 7th round pick. Guy got hurt at Ohio State. I mean, I'm telling you, the one thing the Cowboys have, they've got stories on this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Donovan Wilson's a great story. Tristan Hill's a great story.
Yeah. So you got 3 solid receivers, and the best thing, you just going back to the offense. The Cowboys not running well, okay, but they continue to run it. And you can look at Tony Pollard's stats, Zeke stats. They didn't get nothing because Washington was committed to stopping the run. They were going to force Cooper Rush to beat him with the pass. So the play-pass game, that's what set up those big plays down the field, was the fact that the run game and the play-pass. So people look at it, well, they're not running. Why are they handing the ball to Zeke? It's a long game. It's a process. They're setting things up, and certainly it's set it up well. But, yeah, Gallup coming back, he helps, CeeDee Lamb and takes some of that attention away from CeeDee Lamb. It just helps the whole game. And you go back from the start of the season, the receivers they were playing with, and they were starting undrafted free agent Dennis Houston. Last week they had finally let Jalen Tolbert play, a 3rd-round pick who's been a disappointment since training camp. But now they got 3 legitimate receivers out there to go along with their complementary tight ends. And so you have some weapons on offense now.
The one thing that we saw with Cooper Rush, and he did it with Michael Gallup, there was one, you mentioned CeeDee Lamb. There was a touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb in the second half against Washington. We've seen Cooper Rush make about 6 or 7 completions since becoming the starter 3 weeks ago that are legit NFL starting quarterback caliber passes. Doesn't mean he's going to complete 25 or, in a game like an Aaron Rodgers, but that's the one thing that he's given this offense that most backups can't do. He's given them NFL caliber throws when you need to have them to win a game. And they're the throws Dak Prescott's going to probably make 2 times as many. But the fact that your backup can do that, that's what's allowed them to score points and ultimately win these games and should give them a shot against the Rams, which leads us to our final topic today here on Cowboys Overtime. The Dallas Cowboys defense has played about as well as we've seen any Cowboys defense has played in more than 20 years. And on Sunday in LA, this might be their biggest test in terms of this 4-game stretch with Cooper Rush starting. LA Rams are only 2-2. They lost on Monday night against a good San Francisco team. the Rams, like a lot of defending Super Bowl champions, don't quite look like themselves just yet. But we're still talking about an offense that has Cooper Kupp, that has Matt Stafford, that has toys. Clarence, is this Sunday's game the Cowboys' defense biggest test so far in what is still a pretty young NFL season?
Now, I would say the Eagles game would be the biggest test. The Eagles
no. Before that, this one.
I agree. I'm just saying that this Rams offense scored 9 points last night. They have problems. All they want to do is throw it to Cooper Kupp. That's the problem.
Nobody else getting Clarence. There's nobody else getting open.
That's not true. They're not throwing anybody. Allen Robinson is signed as free agent. Very good receiver.
He's a good receiver. Matt Stafford's not going to sit there and discriminate against guys because he says, "Oh, I don't know this guy."
I don't know. They threw the ball to Cooper Kupp 18 times. I think they're forced to Cooper Kupp. No, seriously. That pick six, they were the defense said
he forced it. Oh no, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
He's looking primarily at Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry. They got to do more than Cooper Kupp if they're going to be an optimal pass offense, which is why they probably want to get OBJ back and get some other guys involved. Allen Robinson had one target last night. One target. Okay, it's not about not getting open. It's not getting involved. They need to do more. But nothing about this Rams team scares you. Yeah, they're a defending Super Bowl champion. But even before last night, you watched them play. They struggled against Atlanta. They're not hitting on all cylinders. Okay,
there's one guy, Clarence. There's one guy on that team that should scare the living hell out of everybody who plays with the Cowboys. Aaron Donald is still a bad man.
Yeah, who has the better defense? The Rams or the Cowboys, though?
There's no doubt about it. The Cowboys front seven. The Cowboys.
You look at what San Francisco did. The Cowboys have the best pass rush in the league.
Yep.
And San Francisco got after them. Look for the Cowboys front four and defense to get after Matt Stafford. I mean, they lost Andre Wisberg. They have questions on their offensive line as well.
The loss of it. It's kind of a killer because they lost Andrew Whitworth, who had been in the NFL for 1,000 years, gets a Super Bowl ring, retires. The guy who replaces him was an understudy, a guy who's a TCU grad, Jeremy Noteboom. He replaced him. He's really struggled at that spot. That line, they don't look like the same team. They just don't. And like I said before, when we introduced this topic, defending Super Bowl champion teams usually get off to a little bit of a slower start. Obviously the Patriots during their run with Brady were a little bit of an exception. They won a lot of them. But, I'm not – the thing that surprises me a little bit, as good as Stafford has been, when you watched him last night, he looked like a young guy just locked in on one guy. It was like he was going through his progressions, and he wasn't even – I don't even know if he was doing that, Clarence. He was like, I'm going to that guy. I'm just going to that guy. That's the only guy I trust. And if that's what he's going to do, the Cowboys should feast on that. Now, after the game on Sunday, we were talking to Micah Parsons, and Micah said, we can be better. And Dorrance Armstrong said it. Tristan Hill said it. And so Micah Parsons said, well, if we've done this statistically, we've given up 17, 16, now 10. He's like, what about 7? This should be a test. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys win this game. The betting line isn't out on this game just yet. Clarence, I would not be surprised if they go into LA and win that game.
No, there's no doubt about it. And you talked about Aaron Donald, but Jason Peters is going to play a little more this week. That should help with with the Aaron Donald situation. But again, before the season, there's no way they win against the Bengals and the defending AFC champion with Cooper Rush. When I looked at wins, I looked at the Giants game, I looked at the Washington game, and said, okay, those are games the Cowboys probably could win with Cooper Rush because they've owned the NFC East, and those teams are not good. They haven't been good, and I don't care that the Giants are 3-1. We watched them play; they're still not good. They still have Daniel Jones, the quarterback, throw for under 200 yards a game. But I looked at the Bengals game. I said, "There's no way it beats the Bengals." Okay,
I thought they would.
Okay, that's because you got that Bengals thing, but there's no way to beat the Bengals.
I know that team.
There was no way we thought they would beat the Rams. And now it's that we're here. This Rams team is not the team we thought they were. So the Cowboys are much better than we thought they would be with Cooper Rush. So going into LA, he doesn't get flustered. The moment won't be too big for him. If they could continue to run the ball and set up and make plays down the field, the Cowboys have a very good chance of winning this game and going into that showdown against the Eagles the following Sunday, that NFC East showdown, and then we'll find out if Dak is back or where we are with that. But yeah, this game is right there for the Cowboys. I'm not going to predict them to win it.
I think I'm with you. I won't predict them to win. It wouldn't surprise me if they
But
did.
it wouldn't be surprising me if they did.
Oh, no. Claire, are you back? You froze
Yeah,
up.
I'm
Okay.
here. I said it wouldn't
We've
surprise me
got
if
one
they
more
did.
minute. Okay, we got one more minute, and we're going to go into something that is not Cowboys related. Big weekend in the Big 12. TCU in first place, tied with undefeated Kansas. ESPN's College Game Day will go to Lawrence for that game. I will be going to the Cotton Bowl for the Big 12's JV game, and that is Texas unranked, which is an incredible. I can't believe they're unranked, and I mean that sincerely. Texas versus Brent Venables' not very good Oklahoma Sooners team that was run out of the building by Sonny Dykes and the Horned Frogs on Saturday. Clarence, unranked Oklahoma versus unranked Texas. I'm telling you here right now, Texas is going to destroy Oklahoma.
Yeah, Texas should win this game. There's no excuses. Not this time. There's no excuses. Oklahoma will likely be out without their starting quarterback. At least they should be. If we all learned our lessons from NFL mess, he had a concussion. He should not play in this game. There's no way he should be able to clear concussion protocols and be back and play in this game. Texas should finally win this game and be back in the polls the following week. I tell you what, if Queeners is back, look out for Texas. TCU and Kansas are doing well. Look out for
Kansas
Texas.
is going to, no, I'm telling you right now, Kansas is going to get killed by TCU on Saturday.
Look out for Texas down the stretch.
Texas is going to be legit. All right, this has been a lot of fun. For all of your Dallas Cowboys coverage needs, as well as TCU and other sports and all of DFW, be sure to check us out on StarTelegram.com. Thank you to the great people at Window Nation for riding with us here on Cowboys Overtime. He's Mr. Clarence E. Hill Jr. I'm Mac Engel. We will see you next week.